Yeah. I mean, we are 2 months away from the St. Kitts Music Festival, and we really don't know what's going on there. It seems like I don't know. I don't know.
I hate that everything in our federation is politicized, and I don't talk politics, but I mean, if somebody from the previous admin worked well on the festival committee and it was proven to be successful and it worked out, why can there not be continued collaboration
Because
and
you have to be
cooperation
real,
when it
Kortensia.
comes to the well-being of the citizens, the residents, and the overall well-being of the federation?
We
Because
haven't.
if we get visitors in, as it rightly said,
Mhm.
then these people have work, they get extra tips,
Kortensia, you
the
realize when
economy
the
turn
minister
over.
comes, when we have a new minister, the new minister comes with his or her team, new persons. We have a new chairman of tourism, and we have a new
I understand
chairman
everybody
of
change,
the tourism authority.
but if it's been proven that these people worked well and you saw that what they did was effective, then work with them just
So,
to
but whose
get.
fault is that? Is it not the persons who come in and make the change?
But you're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's the past people, I'm saying the present people should work with the past people to ensure that we have a successful festival, because it's not benefiting any of us when we fight and say, oh, we did it better, or we did it better.
And the statement that says that it's politicized, I think that is unfair, because yes, Janelle Powell is a political figure, but
I
his
don't think you're
comments,
understanding what I'm saying.
his comments are fair. His comments are what persons are saying.
I am not picking on one party. I'm just saying in the entire thing that people should come together. Not because you're Labour, not because you're PAM, not because you're PLP. You did it best. Come together. Get it sorted out. Let us figure this out and let us have a successive
And
festival for
Janelle-
all of us.
Janelle has said that he's there to offer his advice.
And I like that. All I'm saying is that who is in need to work with who did it best, and let's get it together. That's all I'm saying. So I'm not taking sides, because I don't speak politics, but I hate the fact that this is going to be to the detriment of not only our citizens that are
But you
already
can't-
saying they're
you
not
ca-
going,
you-
but people that are not going to come, and we won't have any heads in beds. That's all I'm saying.
But
we
you
need to
can't
work
be on
together.
the fence. You can't be on the fence for everything, though, because there's clearly
When it
there's-
comes to politics, I'm always going to be on the fence,
No,
because
no,
I don't like
but
talking about
what,
it.
what I'm trying to say,
Uh-huh.
you're saying that you're not.
I'm not picking on
You're not
anybody.
picking any
I want
sides.
them to work together.
Yeah,
all of
but
them.
who's at the table should invite persons.
And that's why I'm saying this, so that maybe they can hear it and invite, so that we can get our music festival on the way. John L. did it best. Damien Hobson was on the last committee. They got it
Yes.
sorted out. Bring these people. Let's do it together. And let's knock the music festival out the park. Let's get the people to come down. Let's ensure that our citizens and residents here maintain their work in the tourism industry, get their extra tips. Yes, I'm lobbying for them to get their extra tips. People have to plan these things in advance. Just like how they plan to come from wherever they live in the diaspora for Carnival, they have to do the same thing for Music Festival. You can't just tell your boss a week before, oh, I'm going to Music Festival, and the boss say, okay. So you're going to miss out on persons that could have come and supported what you are doing. So they need to work together. Call Janelle, call Damien. Let's get this together. Let's forget party right now. Let's just work together.
On the Ministry of Tourism and the Tourism Authority to work with those in the past.
Exactly, so that we can get.
So
our
the
music
onus is on
festival.
them to reach out.
It is, because, as you said, and as we would have heard, the former minister, the Honorable John Powell, he has extended his olive branch a long time, willing to help.
I really don't want to get into this, because, Lord,
Why?
so many ministries we find need assistance.
Yeah, and this is why we should just have one party and stop having so many parties and
You
stop
can't-
fighting. We need to
no.
run. We need to run the country effectively.
When you say one party, so
One
you're,
party,
you're
so-
saying communism?
Yeah, everybody just work together.
I think
It's
that
gonna be rough, but there must be a voice of reason in the crowd of everybody.
No. I don't believe in a one-party state where you have one party dominate.
So you think it's gonna become like Cuba and all the other places?
I believe in democracy. I believe that
But it's not a one party dominate. It's
you saying
Labour,
that
it's PLP, it's PAM, it's everybody in one big pot. at Church Street working together to ensure that St. Kitts and Nevis is run
But that is
efficiently
different.
and
That
Nevis.
is- that
That's
is-
what I meant.
But you said one party.
Yeah, everybody's one.
You could say
Okay,
a government.
a communal government then.
You mean a government made up of different political parties?
That's what I said. Mhm.
No, you said one party.
Yeah, but I'm just saying one party.
One party.
One party made up
party.
of everybody from the varying parties that we have on the island, in the federation, as a matter of fact.
I think what you mean to say is government made up of a coalition of parties.
Well, if that's how you interpret it, that's how you interpret it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I think I said
the
it.
mighty mansplainer.
Jamster, get out of here.
You sound lame.
But yeah, just everybody working together, man. I'm tired of the fighting. I'm just tired of it.
But politics in its very nature is is a competitive arena. You're going to have a competition of ideas. You understand? Persons who have policies who say, this is my policy and I think that this would work. You have someone who disagrees and says, no, I don't think that particular policy is going to work best. This is the policy that I think should be implemented. So whether even within parties you have persons who differ with each other, that is human nature.
And I get that. That's why I say, although I would love that, I don't think it might work because everybody will have different ideas. CCM might have this, PLP might have that, Labour might have that, PAM might have that, whoever else comes in the arena eventually might have an idea. And then it can be proven that they can't work together, which is sad because it should be for the better of ourselves and our federation. And yeah.
Those who put themselves forward to serve should put in the work to serve.
That's it. Dun, dun, dun. Your future.
No, but I'm saying that for anybody, anything. Those who put themselves forward to serve should put in the work to serve.
That's why I said everybody makes this thing sound so sweet, and then when everybody gets in, it's just a barrage of things that don't work. This is why I don't speak on those things. But I just wish that one day we can have everybody hand in hand working together. But I guess Jesus has to come back first. Yeah. On that note.
So so we have a situation here, and of course, persons are talking about the music festival, and you see, if persons are dissatisfied. They're going to voice this dissatisfaction,
and I get that.
It shouldn't be a situation where you tell them, hush, don't talk, even if
No,
you're
not
dissatisfied.
at all. That's why I said bring Jonelle on, bring Damien on, bring everybody on, and let's knock the music festival out the park. I'm going to say it again. I'm not saying for them not to work. You hear me saying bring these people on. They had it worked, bring them back. This is what I'm saying. So I'm not excluding anybody.
So you're saying bring back the team they had before?
Yeah, work together right now. It worked. As I said, it worked for them. Work together with them. Let's knock it out the ballpark. We have 2 months to get people excited.
So perhaps we should bring back.
I think basically the music festival is stillborn at this point because
It has been.
it's going to be because what can you do? I mean, the thing is, maybe there's stuff going on outside, but we don't know. I mean, I've asked people who live overseas, and nobody seems to know anything.
But we here don't know anything
you mean
either.
in the States or?
Yeah, because I was saying, okay, maybe they're doing their thing on the outside, but still, somebody would have said something, and
Jamson,
you would have seen something on
you
Facebook
realize
and
it's
said,
April 23rd.
Yes, it's practically May.
You realize persons out there who are thinking about coming would have had to plan in advance.
And Jonelle made a good point about the same thing, saying, well, some people are probably saying, throwing up their hands and going, well,
And that's what
probably
I
doesn't make
said.
sense because
Really,
I don't know.
They plan for everything.
You know.
You can't just get up and tell your boss, I'm leaving. He might say, yes, leave and don't come back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so proper planning must be put in place.
Yep.
And music festival is an annual thing. So the platform, the plans, it's been there. We know that it's coming. The date was set so long ago. Why are we hearing crickets as it relates to music festival?
Speaking of cricket, singular. Just for a little change of topic. Tonight on Biff's show. Biff has a show on Tuesday night from 7 to 9.
Yes.
There's going to be, I think, a West Indies selector will be on with Biff. They're going to be discussing the fact that there's a very high likelihood that two
Louis?
Kitishans, yes, the two Louis
Ooh.
brothers, may make the West Indies team.
That's
So
nice. Congratulations,
that's gonna
gentlemen.
that's going to be discussed tonight.
In advance.
So, yeah. So all the people, because I noticed it worked last night. I really need to start. The problem is I tend not to. A lot of times when we go to the breaks,
Yes.
I just play the commercials, and I was thinking about it yesterday. I realized,
You should play some of
the cross promotion
Yeah.
works because just me mentioning that the National Security Advisor, you should have seen the numbers in here
the
last
numbers,
night.
yes.
Oh my God! So I realized that we're gonna
A
have
lot
to
of
start
persons were looking
doing
forward
cross promotion.
to hearing from the National Security Advisor.
Yeah.
A lot of persons. And
So tonight they're gonna be discussing. It would be so cool considering that no one has ever made no Kittishan has ever made the West Indies team.
Yep.
yeah.
So now you might have three, and apparently it's three brothers who play cricket.
Yeah.
Three Louis brothers, but
Three Louis, yeah.
in this case, it might be two of them might actually make the team.
You know, we actually had one on one of our Patriots team 1 year,
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, did he get to play?
Jeremiah, yeah, he bowled
So
and
when
stuff.
Oh,
so
okay.
when are we going to know who has made the team and like timeline?
Well, it's probably going to be later down, but I guess tonight we'll know from, I don't know. Yeah, well, one of the selectors is going to be on. He was actually on with Biff about 2 months ago. Huh? I think he's from Antigua, if I'm not mistaken. There's some other cricket going on now, apparently.
Not Richie.
No, another one. I forgot his name. Benjamin? No, I can't remember. Yeah.
That's wonderful news. It's good to see.
That was a nice segue, eh? Crickets
yes,
to
yes,
cricket.
Yes. Hey, you're playing the game today, man.
Cricket to cricket.
But I am still looking out for the St. Kitts Music Festival. Maybe something is going to be pulled from the hat. And maybe we're going to see something.
Maybe we're getting Beyonce, that's why we have crickets. And then you're going to hear dun dun dun,
But then
Beyonce's
if
coming.
we're getting Beyonce, I would hope that we would know by December.
And if we were getting Beyonce, the promotion to get people here will have been.
And this is
off
kind
the
of this would be
charts.
kind of late for someone
Yeah.
like
Maybe
Beyonce
Alicia Keys.
because but still, it's pretty late for anybody right now.
It's pretty
Oh,
late.
Y'all might be surprised.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, maybe against all odds, it might turn out. Maybe against all odds, it might turn out okay. But this is really not the way
Yeah.
to do it.
Understood.
You know,
It's not
Not
looking.
at
It's
all.
not looking well right now.
Nope.
It's not looking well.
As the church
know.
song say, it is well, but it's
I
not
mean, I already
well.
offered my services.
You see,
for a
Jamsa
fee.
even
I'm not doing
offer
it
his
for free.
service. Jamsa. See, Jamsa offer his service too.
Oh boy. Okay, folks.
I mean, I used to be on the production
Jamsta is
committee with
offering his
Adrian.
services.
I used
Oh,
to
may
be.
Adrian soul rest in peace.
You know,
John L is offering his services. I'm sure Mr.
I'm sure
Hobson, I'm
Mr. Hobson
volunteering you.
won't mind.
You can offer your service. We need to save our music festival.
but honestly, not for
the
this year
Honorable
again
Minister-
because nobody's gonna blame me.
Oh
So
boy.
if you guys are serious,
Okay, Jamsa has retracted
Because-
his
because-
volunteer.
But Jamsa made a valid point.
because that's what they do.
Because he don't want to be on the
That
bad
is
bad
what
team.
they do.
Oh boy.
So
Because if Jamsa comes in at this late stage and it goes wrong,
they're gonna
say,
point at
"Well,
me
we had Jamsa."
because
And we don't want our good old guy.
politics is the lifeblood of everything in this country. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, boy.
It just makes me sick. You know, because I'm just gonna be real. A lot of these people get removed simply because of politics.
That's what,
Exactly.
and
And
I
that needs
always
to
said,
stop.
if you go in there and this person is functioning, unless they're gonna sabotage what you are planning to do not move them. Work with them. Understand where they're coming from.
But-
I say that all the time. This is why I don't believe in working for government, because when this government change, I have to go home. No, we're not gonna do that.
But
No.
you know what?
Okay, well-
The theme song for this government was "Get Rid of Them." So they meant get rid of the persons there.
Okay, guys, 8:30.
The
The
good doctor's
Dr.
there.
Natalie is here to take our temperatures because take our blood pressure because it's
Not
clearly
at
gone
all.
up.
Not
And
at
you know
all.
what we're
And
talking
you know what?
about? And you know what we're talking about today?
Lift off the stress.
We're talking about stress, the complications of it. So persons out there, if you're having a stressful life,
Some people are stressing that they don't know the artists for the music
Yes,
festival.
music festival is stressing us out
Yeah,
now,
music
yo.
festival. Stop
Yeah.
stressing us out, please. Let's get it together.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Studied hard at school, didn't wanna be a fool, but you're still not in the game. Girlfriend living large, big house and car, that's because she's in the game. Life seems real tough, bills keep going up, and you're still not in the game. It's not that hard for all that to change, it's time to get in the game. You have to be in it to win it. Super Lotto, in it to win it. Super Lotto, in it to win it. Super Lotto, you have to be in the game. Only $6 to play, so play today. Only $6 to play, so play today. Only $6 to play, so play today. You have to be in the game.
Get your tickets from Caribbean Lottery retailers island-wide.
This Mother's Day, celebrate her. Be loved with beautiful hand-finished jewelry from Pandora. Give like only you can, with styles that shine as bright as your special bond. From radiant symbols to heartfelt messages, find the perfect way to light up her day. Tell her, thank her, be loved. Shop Pandora Jewelry today.
Go green in April with the TVC Home and Building Depots. All month long, we're giving our customers 15% in savings on all eco-friendly products. Shop during Earth Week, April 22nd through 27th with your green bag. Claim your green bonus with an extra 5% off the green items that fit inside. Then on Earth Day, April 22nd, it's No Plastic Bag Day. Bring along your own green bag, shop as you please, and enjoy the savings. Live the green life. Shop at TDC Home and Building Depots, everyone's favorite retail stores. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
It's 8:33, time for our weekly dose with Dr. Natalie Osborne, and she is rearing it and ready to go.
Yeah, here on
And,
Island T, you know, we're going to talk about, and this is something that perhaps impact many of us, you know, on
Yep.
our daily lives. We have so many things to do.
All of us.
All of us.
Our
Yep.
music festival, PTSD,
Yes.
pre-trauma stress disorder.
Oh my God.
I'm playing. I'm
Yes,
just playing.
yes,
Oh,
of course. And so we're going to talk about
Stress.
the effects stress has on the body.
Well, every
Yes.
part of the body, I should say.
Yeah. So it's not just the headaches that you get. You understand? It's the other things too.
The other stuff too.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, excellent introduction. Yes.
Yes.
So stress is a big one. I usually pull from the week's activity and what would have happened to get the topic of the week. And I had a very stressful week. And a very good friend of mine also, her aunt was buried yesterday. She was very close to the aunt. And
Condolences.
she was kind of behind the scenes preparing everything and pulling everyone together. And that was very tiresome for her, very stressful.
Could
of course,
imagine.
along with all the emotion of losing a family member.
Yeah.
So these are why we bring these topics, because we're pulling them from real life situation. So stress triggers the body fight or flight response.
Yes.
It is good in that moment, Kortensia, but when it is prolonged over time, it causes negative health effects on your body, your mood, and all of your body's system. Throughout this discussion, Kortensia and Azard, I want us to keep in mind this thing. You are going for a walk, like I take walks sometimes over on the golf course.
Yes.
And it's a Saturday afternoon, I'm taking a walk, I'm feeling good, it's cool, it's breezy, I'm feeling refreshed. And I turn around the corner and I see a pit bull. And there is no other person in sight. I don't see a potential owner at anywhere close by. Think about your fight or flight moment, and those are what bring on all of the symptoms of stress. In that moment, it is essential and important what happens that we'll talk about. But if you're maintained in such a tension for too long, it creates lots of havoc on the body. So always think of you running into that dog and you're by yourself. How are you going to respond? And your whole body starts acting, from your brain, your muscles, your heart, your blood vessels. And you are getting ready. You have got to fight or flight.
But I'm checking. I wouldn't consider that as stress because as a child, we don't running from the dog. We're just running from the dog. We ain't even thinking about stress. We're just thinking about getting away from the dog.
Precisely. So that's the whole mechanism of where stress begins.
Okay.
And that is important at that moment. But then if it is sustained, it becomes a problem.
Okay.
But are
So
you
that's
just
the way-
seeing the dog, or is the dog chasing you?
No, remember,
Well, you
you've
see
turned
it
the
first.
corner, you are facing that dog, and that dog is facing you. And in that brief second there,
You're
you have
figuring
to
out
start
what to do.
What do I do?
But to be honest, if the dog
So-
is facing me, unless it's chasing me, I'm calm.
No. You are not calm when coming into
Especially if it's a pit bull.
I'm glad
that's-
that the doctor is reframing the definition of stress, I guess, medically and scientifically. Because think about it. If you catch a fish, the fish bites the hook and you pull up that fish is undergoing a whole heap of stress. That's stress. You shoot a bird with a catapult, it hits the bird, maybe
Stress
the bird,
again.
it's stress.
Yeah.
All of that is,
Okay.
it's very stressful.
Exactly. And sometimes when I come down here for the show, I'm rushing to the hospital and then have to rush down here. I'm in the traffic. And at that point, I'm hitting every red light from the hospital. And that is very stressful.
Yes.
So let's go ahead.
Yes, yes,
Okay. so
yes,
go ahead.
I know.
So is there any benefits to stress, Doc?
We just spoke about it, and that I want you to keep throughout the show. So stress is a natural physical and mental reaction to life's experiences. That is important. So everyone expresses stress from time to time. So anything from responsibility of work that all of us have, family, serious life events, if you have a new diagnosis, we're having wars throughout the world, and it helps you and initially to get you going and get things happening. So it helps you to cope with potential situation. Okay? So that dog is there, you have got to respond to that dog. If you're going to start looking around, is there a tree right there that I could get up there quickly? Is there a fence I could jump immediately? Okay, so your body starts releasing all these specific hormones at that point. Your heart starts pumping, your breathing gets on, and that is to help save you. So there are benefits in that. Okay?
So what are the main systems that are affected during this time?
Okay, you want to know that there are several organs that are highly responsible in this. We know that once there is stress, you have that stimulation from the brain. You have come in contact. You're seeing that pit bull. He is big. He is strong. He's young and he's ready to go. Your brain first gets that first visual. Your lungs. You start, your lungs, your nose and nostrils start opening so that more oxygen could go in because you're going to need that oxygen. Your heart and blood vessels, they start responding. You are going to need that. Your muscles are going to need that thing. So they start to tense up. More blood starts going to them because you have got to make a decision. So then your digestive system is also a part of this as well.
Yeah,
too.
because you suddenly feel you need to go bathroom.
Oh, that's exactly it too. And so these are some of the main body organs and so that are structures that are involved in having a stressful situation.
So we spoke about the...
Some people would take that situation as dog as calm. Other people, their stress level will go when they see a centipede or something like that.
So we spoke about the organs that it affects. Let's speak about the hormones now.
So from a medical point of view, one of the most important hormone is cortisol.
Yeah.
We'll have all heard about it. So it's a
Yes.
human stress hormone.
Okay.
There's stimulation from the brain. There's a point there that's called the hypothalamus, and it's released some hormones there that goes down into the body. And on top of the kidneys, there are two small organs that you don't hear too much about that they're called the adrenal glands. And they produce that hormone cortisol and another hormone like adrenaline. You hear about this and epinephrine. So those are the main hormones that's going to get those blood vessels, that blood pumping through the blood vessels. That's going to start creating changes in your kidneys, and you start releasing glucose because you need that energy. Where's that energy going to go? To your muscles. That's going to start consuming a lot of oxygen at that point. So these are the main hormone, and growth hormone also plays a role, but the main hormone, you have the cortisol, okay, and the adrenaline that you've heard so much about.
Okay.
So what
okay,
is
go
the effect of stress on the respiratory and cardiovascular system?
Azard, I'm going to keep you thinking about this pit bull because I don't think you realize the seriousness.
But he doesn't
of
seem to be afraid of the pit bull. Maybe we need to say a big anaconda or a crocodile or something running him across the golf course.
Understands the importance of the pit bull.
Maybe we say anaconda, maybe we say a crocodile.
Maybe a dragon, because he ain't taking us serious.
With the pit bull, because I know everybody would take a pit bull serious. So
any kind of dog.
Yes, the respiratory and the cardiovascular system, okay? So during that stress response, you start breathing faster to quicken the distribution of oxygen. Oh man, you want that oxygen going to those structures that you need, especially those muscles, especially that heart. So if you have things like a breathing problem, like an asthma, emphysema, it can even make it much harder. So on the stress, what happens? Your heart starts pumping faster. Those blood vessels become narrowed, the blood shoots faster up to the heart, and it's then shooting faster out, being distributed to get to the muscles and different structures that is going to be needed in response. And we're keeping this pit bull in mind. So what can happen over time? As we said, in the fight or flight moment, that is important, but sustained over time, then it becomes a problem. So then your heart will start working too fast and too hard over time because it's pumping much faster. You know that your heart rate goes up. But what happens? The heart is a muscle. It then becomes weary. And then it leads to heart disease. You have heart attacks. Okay, you have strokes because your blood vessels narrow and your blood pressure goes up. And you cannot sustain a high blood pressure like that. So then you can have a stroke. So these are things long-term that stress would cause. And this is you hear a lot of our patients, you see them in the hospital over time, okay, chronic stress. And we think that, okay, we are accustomed to this because that's how our daily life is, that's how life is, but we cannot survive with this maintained or sustained level of stress.
That's why people with blood pressure, they say they shouldn't argue, because when they argue, they stress themselves. And I've known of a few persons that actually got a heart attack and died right there and then.
What about the digestive system?
Yeah, digestive system. So you're seeing that pit bull yet again. You need that glucose or sugar. So what the liver does, because it's part of the digestive apparatus there, it starts breaking down fats and glucose in the body to form sugar. You need that sugar released to the blood. Okay? What happens over time? In that initial instant, the muscles needs glucose for them to function and you to run away. But if that is sustained over time, what happens? Chronic stress can increase your blood sugar and the body doesn't know what to do with it. And then you have developed type 2 diabetes. Lots of time, that is how the association goes. What else happened? Because of the chronic, the stress, then you start producing more acid in the stomach. That leads to things like heartburn or acid reflux. Okay, you start having things like diarrhea. You ever have to present in a program, and before you go up to present in front of a massive audience, you need to go to the bathroom.
Feel like you need to
yes, 2 or 3 times. All of that is part of it. You can have nausea, vomiting, crampy stomach aches too. And so that helps you and stimulates you in a short period of time. But then you don't want to have all of these for a long period of time. The heartburn and the acid reflux and stuff can create problems in the stomach and also in things like the esophagus. And,
so are these conditions the only conditions that contribute to the heartburn and the acid, or could it be over time the bad foods that we eat?
Yes, but remember we're talking about stress and the changes. Yes, of course, the diet and different things that we've spoken about.
Okay, since Azard is not going to run from this pit bull, let's talk about how stress affects the muscular system.
Yes, okay. So your muscles at first tense up to protect you. You see this pit bull and you start, everything in you start becomes tense. And one of the reasons it helps prevent you from injury as well too. But usually it relaxes. But if you're under sustained stress and all your muscles continue to be tense, what happens? You start having headaches, backaches. You're so tense, and you're having all these generalized muscle aches and pains and body ache, okay? And this time it becomes an unhealthy cycle. And most of the time, what then do? We start consuming lots of drugs to help us get rid of those muscle aches and pains, all right?
Boy. Oh boy, how does stress affect sexuality and the reproductive system.
Azard, I need you to pay attention because a lot of it affects our male in our community, all right? So stress is exhausting for both your body and your mind. So we know that. It's not unusual when you're stressed, your sexual desire decreases. So what happens? Over short term, there may be an increase in testosterone. But if your stress is sustained over long term, what happens? That testosterone decrease. What does it result in? You continue then, testosterone is the main male hormone, and that begins to drop. It interferes with sperm production. So then sometimes our men, they're unable to reproduce because of the level of stress they have sustained in their life. Then you can have erectile dysfunction. A man is having difficulty having an erection or sustaining an erection, or it can lead to impotence where you cannot have an erection at all. So these are some of the sustained problems over time in the male. And it can lead to, chronic stress can lead to having infections in the male organs, such as your prostate, and such as your testicles or your balls there. So you don't want to have that over time. And so for women, we know that stress can affect our menstrual cycle. You start to bleed more frequently. It's much more heavy. Okay, or it becomes irregular. So you normally have it every 28 days of the month, and then you start realizing it's become more prolonged or it becomes shortened and it's much more heavier, and you start having all these abdominal pain. If you're in your menopausal period, it can worsen the symptoms of menopause and heighten them because you're stressed. For example, think about you're now 54 and you're just going through a divorce. One of the things that is so stressful is undergoing a divorce. Then you realize that all these changes start happening and your menopausal symptoms can become worse.
But even some of the symptoms, Doc, you wouldn't say some of the symptoms stress women out because you're suddenly hot, you're sweating, you have all these pain, some people not able to sleep at night. All of that are stresses, right? Okay.
And it then becomes like a vicious cycle.
Okay.
And then you're more stressed now, and then the symptoms worsen.
Okay. So how does stress affect the immune system?
Yeah. And initially, because as we said, the fight or flight, initially there may be some benefits, okay, can help you to avoid infections, help your wounds to heal. But over time, the stress hormones weaken your immune system and it predisposes you to having infections, lots of viral infections and stuff. All right, common cold. I don't know if you would have realized sometimes when you're very stressed at work, lots of activities going on, then you're concerned. No, you realize you start getting the flu. You're weak, your whole body, so you're not responding now, and then you're more susceptible to having infections in your body. Okay, and it may also increase the time that you take to recover from any illness.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, you know that's true. Last week was
don't be stressed with
last week was a rough week, and then by the weekend I feel like I had a cold.
Did you take some Cetamol and some things?
Yes. And what?
And what?
Cetamol and ting.
And
I actually did, Cetamol and ting. So I'm just making sure.
No, only Cetamol and ting. Nothing else. No hammer, no anything. No, Cetamol and ting. I thank you. So, Doc, can you summarize the effects of stress on the body's organ?
Okay, so we're coming down from the head. So keep these in mind. You start having all these headaches. It triggers a tension headache. It can wear you down emotionally and lead to depression. All right? You don't want that. It can create things like insomnia. Don't you realize that when you're stressed, you're not sleeping? Yes, and you toss and turn, and by the time you wake up in the morning, your sheet is all distorted, you're all over the place, your pillows are all thrown about. Then you have things like heartburn. We mentioned that because of the stress. The stress increases the production of the acid in the stomach, okay? And your heartburn and stuff worsens. You can have rapid breathing, okay? That helps you initially, but then it can create all sorts of respiratory distress and problem. You have a weakened immune system, okay, leaving you more vulnerable to developing infection. You have a risk of heart attack. That heart muscle becomes weakened because of all the stress on it. It's pumping so much. The oxygen and the demand for that heart becomes too much for it to handle, and it starts weakening over time, giving you different chronic heart disease, heart failure, heart attack. High blood sugars. These high blood sugars over time, because of stress, you're producing and releasing much more glucose, and then your body can't handle all of that glucose, leading to things like diabetes. You have fertility problems. we spoke about this just a while ago. Then you have decreased sex drive. You're not interested in having intimacy as much, and then you have difficulty with your partner. Your menstrual cycle becomes worsened. And the last thing, and now prolonged. And the last thing for a woman when she's having all these stress, she's not even thinking about any intimacy. She brushes off her partner. That creates a problem long term. Erectile dysfunction, which we don't need to say more about that.
Nope.
Missed periods, and your muscles are so tense. You've ever been so stressed and you feel all your muscles feel tense and you're sore all over your body. All right? So those are some of the things I want you to keep in mind.
Okay. Let us talk about the risks or complications of poorly managed stress.
Yes. If you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, there are positive and good things that you can do, and some of the things that people turn to can be very negative as that. Alcohol use and abuse. Jamster, keep making sure that we keep our alcohol use during that period. Eating disorders. You realize when you're stressed because that same hormone.
don't eat.
And it can be that at first,
Especially
but then you
if
can
it's a
overeat.
breakup.
Yeah.
You can then, yes. But then you can overeat because some person respond differently.
Yeah.
And that hormone, cortisol, that can lead to a lot of weight gain too,
Yeah.
and obesity. Smoking. You don't want to do smoking when you're stressed, but some people turn to the cigarette when they're stressed because it's that all that nervous energy.
Some persons don't turn to the cigarette, they turn to other things too.
Yes, of course.
The high
illegal
grade.
drugs, of course, you know some of those
Yeah.
stuff. It can lead to mental health illness and depression. Remember we spoke
Yeah.
about depression, and depression can lead to things like suicidal thoughts, or even for the person to go on and take their life by suicide.
Okay.
So how can we all manage stress? Tell us.
Finally we got to something good, because
Yes.
everything sounds so stressful and so negative. So if you're stressed, you must take some time to manage your stress at this point. And get regular physical exercise, Azad. Most days of the week, you want to do that. You burn that pent-up energy,
Yes.
burn that glucose that you have there. That exercise relaxes your blood vessels, and your blood pressure drops down, okay? So you want to practice relaxation techniques. You can do massages. You can do what you call yoga,
Yep.
meditation, Tai Chi, all those different things where you meditate and you try and calm yourself down. And keep a sense of humor. So we've got to laugh too. Spend time with family and friends. This is not a time to be isolated, especially imagine you would have just lost a very close family member, relative. You are so stressed, you're emotional, you're worked up. That's no time to isolate yourself. You need to be around persons so that they can help make you feel much more relaxed, try to distract you from some of the
But what if the
negative
person doesn't
thoughts.
want to be around somebody, doc? Because you know sometimes people really draw themselves into themselves and be like, not today.
That's why we have several different things. So
Okay.
that's part of it, being around friends. So you exercise, you meditate. You want to set aside time for hobbies, reading a good book. Okay, doing some kind of task that you like. If you like to do woodwork as a male, if you're somebody who wants to crochet or do something, or you paint, these are things that you schedule time for your passion. Write in your journal. Most of us do not write our thoughts down enough. It really helps us sort through that. So write in your journal, get enough sleep, eat healthy. This is a time you want to eat healthy, but this is a time you want to grab mostly for the bag of chips. Okay, so you want to grab for the chocolate or the ice cream, so you want to avoid that at this time. And stay away from tobacco and any kind of alcohol in this time. Is an illegal substance. All right, one of the things that you don't want to do too, you don't want to stay up watching TV and going on the internet and playing video games, because you think that is distracting you, but it doesn't really help. Okay, and I found myself was trying to do that, to using the television or something to distract me.
Okay.
Because you think if your mind is not focused because you're watching something or you're being entertained, your thoughts would not be racing like that.
That's when they even race further. And I've seen research where they say in the night, avoid the telly and the phone, because the light,
Of course.
when you're sleeping, you literally see it. I've experienced that. But I don't really watch television, but I will have my phone like in the wee hours, and then I am trying my best to put it down. I have not accomplished that yet, but I'm trying.
That blue light that emits from that. So you could also have some warm tea at that
chamomile.
time. And you could also take some natural supplements like melanin, things like that you want to do at that point. All right, so If any comments or questions, I don't know if any other thoughts that you guys had to clarify.
Well, Doc, we know you have a very stressful job. I'm sure not only me, but others want to know, how do you de-stress?
I do a lot of walking. Yes,
Okay.
I do a lot of walking. I used to be.
Hopefully, there's no dogs around.
Oh,
I swear we need a dinosaur for this one to run.
anyway, he's really not afraid of that.
Obviously.
But when I go walking,
Uh-huh.
I like to have a stick.
I like you, just in case. Just
That's
in
a
case.
just in case.
Because the dog is going to think twice to come once he see we have a
I
weapon
can
of some sort.
imagine Dr. Osborne and it with your stick. You know,
Listen, and plus Dr. Osborne is going to, she's going to take flight. Just run away. I would take flight too. I'm running. I'm
I'm
not.
going to incorporate this stick sometimes. I would do like
Yeah.
the stretches, push-ups with the stick, something to,
Yeah.
I was in a moment of fight or flight, I was in Africa, Uganda, and I had some food.
Okay.
And some monkeys, some huge monkeys surrounded me, looking at me and my food. I had just gotten the food. You know what I did? I left the food for them.
Look at him.
And I went my way, and all of them were.
You left your food. I was fighting those boys off. That's my food.
You know how big those monkeys were.
So what did you do? You rest the plate down and you walked away, and did they come at it immediately?
They went for the food. I threw the food over by them.
You see, we threw it. He didn't even rest it down.
I tell them that's yours.
So it's monkeys. We have to say really big monkeys on the golf course. He's going to run.
They were watching me. They were surrounding me.
Yeah, because they're looking for something.
Yeah,
so
looking for something
what's
to eat.
happening there now? Your brain, in that way, his brain started functioning fast. What do I do? What's my solution?
Leave the
there?
food.
I said the only thing that attracted them was that meal.
Yeah.
Leave the food for
Then
the
you were able
monkeys.
to get a second plate?
Of course, it was a conference.
Okay.
So I went back for my food. That's yours.
Stay far away from me.
Oh, boy. Oh,
So that's
boy.
what the brain does in that moment. Immediately you have to come up with a solution. What am I going to do?
Yes.
And all your nerves ending starts firing at that moment. And his solution was, I just have to give up this meal. That is how
Yes.
I save myself.
And I did. I'm here to talk about it.
I want to see the size of these monkeys that made you give up your food. Because we don't give up our food that easily.
I know.
So, Doc, some parting words for those folks. I know you've given them a whole rundown of what they can do, what they shouldn't do, etc., etc. What else would you recommend for them?
Okay, stress will come to all of us.
Well, for us, I should say.
All
us.
of us, yes. It's going to be in some form or the other.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you wake up, you start thinking about you've got to get up, get to work. You got to get to work on time. You have to get the kids ready, get them out to school. They're not moving fast enough. You are all worked up and stressed. You're saying you're going to go in the car and leave them behind. So it's a whole lot of dynamics happening there.
Yes.
And you get up, or if you're by yourself, you're looking at the clock. You're thinking you need to get out now because you have this important meeting. But if you don't get out at a particular time, you're going to be then
He's
stuck in
stressed every
traffic,
morning.
and then you're stressed about your time. So all this is going to happen. We've got to find ways to manage that. So little things that you can, if you know your particular stressor is the traffic, then make sure that you leave earlier. Because some things, because Azard wasn't triggered by the pit bull, some things affect someone more than the other person. The other person, and stress will come to us. We have deadlines at work. We have complications based on whatever our job is. But you have to find ways to manage it. We spoke about the exercise, the meditation, the yoga, things like that. The reading a book, taking a walk. Contact with friends and stuff, okay, listening to music, these things. Find your way of distressing, because it is important. What happens to us, I could only speak in the medical field, we're living under such a high level of stress, and it's sustained, we start thinking that's normal.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Weekly Dose. Good morning.
Good morning, caller.
Hello, caller. Are you there? You can call back.
We encourage you to call back.
Okay, we lost that caller. So, Doc, you can continue while we wait on that person to call back.
Yes, so whatever you can find, make sure you eat well too, because this is not the time to start eating the junk food that sometimes is so easy to grab.
But
All right?
during that time of the month for a lady, we want the sweet, we want the savory, we want the sour.
Yeah.
And if we can't have that, especially if we're trying to maintain our weight, that is a stressor. So what does... Okay. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Weekly Dose. Good morning.
Oh, we're having difficulty connecting.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Weekly Dose. Good morning. No, boy.
Oh,
Oh.
the current knocked the cars.
Oh, yeah, we lost power for a little bit earlier,
Oh,
and then the
okay.
generator kicked in.
Okay, that's what happened.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So persons are having difficulty. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry that you're having difficulty getting through at this time. But I know most of persons who are listening, they enjoy hearing our discussions and our interactions. So I hope this would have given you some insight further into stress, knowing that stress affects most of our body organs and structures. We didn't even speak much about it because stresses over time can create problems on your skin. Some persons, all depend on how your body reacts. It increases your weight, okay? It makes you depressed, discouraged, but there's always hope. I don't want any of us to give up at all. Today may be a bad day, but tomorrow, once we hold on, would be a brighter day. There's always hope, all right?
I like that. Today may be a bad day, but tomorrow, once we hold on, it
Yeah.
can be a brighter day. Look at that.
We're not going to give up. We're going to keep pushing forward.
Yes.
Yep.
And on that note, we're going to Inga a song about stress.
Lift off the stress.
Yes.
Whoa, lift
We're gonna
off
lift
the
off the stress.
See, maybe I should be an artist for true, but I think nobody gonna pay to come see me though.
We're going to put you as the headliner. Music festival.
Wow, that's all. Doc, thank you so much for taking time out and coming.
Yes.
We appreciate it every week. Every week
Yeah.
you enlighten us. You bring us the best topics, and we are grateful. Thank you so much.
Please know that just getting the topics together is stress.
Oh boy, well,
I found a song about stress, so I'll give you a verse before you leave.
Okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
All right?
see you
Okay. It's actually called Stressed Out. 21 Pilots.
I wish I found some better sounds no one's ever heard. I wish I had a better voice that sang some better words. I wish I found some chords in an order that is new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. I was told when I get older all my fears would shrink, but now I'm insecure and I care what people think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out.
Okay, time to kick the doctor out. Yes.
And don't be stressed out today. Don't be
Yeah,
stressed out at all
don't be
today.
stressed out.
Okay?
Okay. So that's going to do it for today's edition of Weekly Dose. Don't forget, we have moved it to 8:30. So those of you who felt like you were hallucinating this morning, yes, it's now 8:30, not 9. It ends at 9 now.
So the doctor's moving out, and so am I. But I'm not gonna move stress. I'm gonna just be out. Have a good one.
Okay, bye-bye, everyone. Have a good day.
Care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
For all your animal needs, try the Feed and Farm Store SKN. We have the best quality products in feed, dewormers, grooming supplies, toys, treats, and minor medical supplies. Drop by the store on the Kim Collins Highway at the airport roundabout. We're open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday and 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays. Give us a call at 669-FARM.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
And we are back, Island T, and it's April 23, 2024. Yes, awesome. And so we are back. I see that there's some news. I guess we could, I see here, well, I'm seeing that there is the PLP press conference today, yes, so it's at 4 p.m. so here it says the St. Kitts and Nevis opposition People's Labour Party to hold monthly press conference. So the St. Kitts and Nevis opposition People's Labour Party PLP is gearing up to stage its monthly press conference on Tuesday, April 23 at the St. Kitts Marriott Hotel, starting at 4 p.m. PLP National Leader and Third Prime Minister Dr. Honorable Timothy Harris, along with National Chairperson and former Minister Miss Wendy Colleen Phipps, will lead the conference. It says, anticipated to address a range of critical national issues, the press conference offers an opportunity for media representatives to engage with the PLP leadership directly. Questions for the panel can be directed to the email address plpcommunications@outlook.com. While all questions will be addressed, time constraints will determine the extent of responses. With transparency and accountability at the forefront, the PLP aims to provide insights into its stance on pressing matters and engage in constructive dialogue with the press and public alike. And the links here for YouTube and Facebook. So it's an opportunity for those persons to listen in to the People's Labour Party, its monthly press conference.
And I have a notice here that I have to read, emergency notice. It's emergency water service interruption for Horizons Villas. The St. Kitts Water Services Department advises of an emergency water service interruption for Horizons Villas. The interruption is necessary to repair a broken pipe at the location. The water department's team is working swiftly to complete repairs by noon today, and they apologize for any inconvenience this may cause and kindly request your understanding and cooperation. If you have any questions or queries, call 465-8000. The Water Department also encourages you to stay updated with the latest developments on their Facebook page. So, water services interruption in the Horizons Villa area. And if you have any questions, you can call 465-8000.
Yeah. So that's important notice. I'm sure they are very thankful for that notice, Jamster.
Yeah, so I guess seems as though they'd have a busted pipe up there or something.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Water issues.
So
So are you going to listen to the conference, the People's Labour Party conference?
I'll try.
Press conference, that is. What do you think are some of the topics that they're going to touch at the press conference?
I don't know. I'm not a PLP operative.
No, but you're in news and media.
Well, no, I imagine they'll probably be addressing the crime and probably music festival. I would not be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a timely time to throw some blows on that, right?
Yes.
Because some blows is really needed at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the music festival, man, and I've never seen it like this before in terms of not having anything at all. This is abnormal. This is something that happens. And of course, the crime, we see the escalation in number of homicides. And, you know, there was a press release from the People's Action Movement. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see it?
The press release from
the People's Action Movement.
You mean the thing that Jonelle wrote concerning?
This one is on.
Oh
crime.
yeah, I saw it yesterday. I didn't get to read all of it, but because I was busy doing something at the time.
Yeah.
I had a computer issue I was taking care of.
So
but I did see it. Yeah.
I have it.
I was actually here when it was dropped off.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have it here, and it says April 22nd, 2024. It says People's Action Movement, and on it has a quote that says, "To clap hands and strive for progress." And it says, "Statement by the People's Action Movement on the ill-advised comments of the National Security Advisor of St. Kitts and Nevis." And it says here, "The People's Action Movement, PAM, is shocked and alarmed by the recent statements and unfortunate utterances of the National Security Advisor, Dr. Lionel Rawlins, at the press conference held last Thursday, 18th April 2024. The National Security Advisor made a number of dangerously misguided statements that have the potential to place the entire population at risk. The implications of such statements are profound and deeply troubling and undermine the rule of law in our country. His words not only demonstrate a lack of empathy for the victims and their families, but reveal a profound ignorance of the complexities of crime and security. We reiterate our support for the police and armed forces in their crime-fighting efforts, notwithstanding the insinuation by the this word is killing me with this cold now. By the insinuation by the National Security Advisor that the ordinary citizens are safe from gun violence." So let me read that sentence again. We reiterate our support for the police and armed forces in their crime-fighting efforts, notwithstanding the insinuation by the National Security Advisor that ordinary citizens are safe from gun violence. This is not only false but dangerous, since the country is aware of innocent bystanders who have been affected by stray bullets. We hope that the statements in contention will not diminish the urgency of addressing the root causes of crime and resolve in bringing the perpetrators to justice. It is the party's view that Dr. Rawlins' recent comments represent a dangerous departure from responsible leadership and an alarming disregard for the safety and security of the population. For this reason, we call upon Prime Minister Jew to distance himself from those remarks and immediately withdraw his appointment, considering the consequences of his dangerous rhetoric. We appeal to the perpetrators to work towards peaceful resolutions of their differences, to put down their arms and end the trauma and fear plaguing our beautiful land. That is the press release.
Okay, we're going to take a break at 9:15, 9:14, but yeah.
What you thought about it as I read it? And of course, last week for me was very, we have a call.
Yeah, but he's going to have to, that person is going to have to call back after the break.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah,
okay, unfortunately. So what are we going to do? Take the break now?
Yeah, so I guess Mr. Rollins is going to get some blows today from PLP.
We don't know what persons are going to say, you know.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, so.
I mean, if that's...
Oh, you mean at the press conference?
At the press conference,
I thought you meant the call. Or,
No,
yeah,
the press conference.
No problem.
Yeah.
So, we're going to take the break now?
Yeah, okay. And just reminding folks, tonight on The Ball, we're going to have the host, Troy Biffmills. In case you guys don't know, every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m., we have a sports talk show with Troy Biffmills.
Yes.
Tonight he's going to be joined by a selector, a West Indies selector who's from Antigua. I think he's on island now for the cool and smooth cricket. There's some cricket going on in St. Kitts at the moment. So he's going to be joining Troy tonight. They'll be discussing the likelihood of two brothers, Louis brothers, actually being selected for the West Indies cricket team. So don't be afraid to tune in tonight from 7 to 9 o'clock for On the Ball. You'll get to hear the promo now. And we have the upcoming pork and beer fest. You like pork, right? You like pork? You know what I like? I like that. There's this one that the Dominicanos do.
Yes.
Where they put a whole pig, I think like, is it heated rocks or something like that?
Yes.
They heat up the rocks and then they put the full pig and then they cover it over. I remember, and they had it up there once. I remember the first time they did it up there. Whichever club that is it JC's or Rotary? I always get mixed up with those two. So it was up by the TDC place, and I went up there. Like, oh my god!
Sure?
You never? Yeah,
you sure it wasn't? That sounds
the first
like
time.
Rotary.
Rotary, yeah, probably Rotary. Like yeah. Well, I want to play the ad now, so we're gonna hear it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that DR style roast pig. Oh my god!
I could imagine
the meat falling off the bones. Oh my god!
Yes, we'll take a short break, man. We'll get back.
Found the sound. 98.9.
Attention, food and fun enthusiasts! The Rotary Club of St. Kitts proudly presents the return of its annual Pork and Beer Fest. Saturday, 4th May, from 12 noon at the Rotary House in Fortlands, opposite the Fort Thomas Hotel. Indulge your taste buds with mouth-watering, juicy roast pork, sauce, barbecue ribs, stew pork, smoked pork, cook-up, black pudding pork, and more pork, all expertly prepared by local chefs. And what better way to wash it down than with ice-cold, refreshing beer? Musical entertainment by DJ Terra, DJ Carty, and Mixclusive Sounds. Enjoy a day of fun with plenty prizes to be won. For more information, follow us on Facebook and contact Harper's or any member of the club for tickets. Don't miss the return of the annual Pork and Beer Fest, Saturday, May 4th at the Rotary House in Fortlands.
Do you want to know what's happening in sport? Tune in to On the Ball, a weekly tour show which is on WinFM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Biff Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and, of course, your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On the Ball with Troy Biff Mills on WinFM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball.
"18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and everyone's looking forward to that pork and beer fix. The rest is not so much, but definitely me."
Are you going?
Yes, definitely.
Okay,
and I remember the
okay.
last time we went and we bought a bit of every type of pork.
We have a caller.
Yeah, but he's roast pork, jerk pork, the DR pork soda. I made that one up.
I know you did, but we're gonna let you have it.
Okay. Chat in the meantime. Let me speak to this person.
Oh, I thought there was a call in here. Yes. So, we have a number. Of course, I did read the People's Action Movement statement as it relates to the statements made by the National Security Advisor. I also indicated that the PLP is having its press conference this afternoon. There are a number of things I see in the news. Let me see if we could address some of these matters that have been on the news. So it says here, for persons who may want to know what's going on in the region. He says here, and this is Loop News. It says Guyana gun amnesty goes into effect from May 1st. So he says the legislators will begin debating on Thursday a resolution giving effect to a gun amnesty in Grenada from May 1st to July 30th this year. Parliament recently approved an amendment to the Firearms Act, and according to the order paper circulated for Tuesday's meeting, the legislators will debate a resolution giving effect to the amnesty. The following day, members of the Senate will also meet to debate the resolution that states, in part, that the Prime Minister, Dickon Mitchell, who is also the Minister for National Security, is satisfied that the amnesty may result in a reduction of illegally possessed firearms or ammunition in Grenada. The amendment to the Firearm Act introduced a new section that will give the Minister for National Security the power to declare a gun amnesty for 90 days. According to the order, all police stations and police headquarters will be collection points for the illegal firearms and ammunition. Okay, we have a caller. Caller, you're live on Island T.
Hi, good day, Azard. Rusty here.
Hey, Rusty, how are you doing?
I'm doing very, very fine. I just want to call a couple of things, so I'm going to be very quick. First one is you all talking about the music festival.
Yes.
Let me just say this way, a lot of people are mad. We have elected a bunch of immature boys and girls, plus the elder prime minister, the former prime minister, to government, and they've shown us already that they're not prepared for administering the country. We had the sports problem; they're not having the facility ready to have the sports. And now they come with music festival, and people been wanting them from a long time. Give us the artists, tell us who are coming, and that kind of stuff. So these people don't know what they're doing. I am still to find out if the IMF meeting that I think is German Abel went to, which minister or ministerial persons or secretaries went to this meeting. I was told, let me not say, I was told something and I don't believe it, right? So let me leave it at that. Come here and spread no rumor on nobody. Yes. But it is terrible. It is very terrible how we behave. Let me come to crime. And as I just read a press release from your party, right? And I am a little disappointed because I said some days ago that I myself, as public relations officer, and Grant went to they hunted down a boy, Favorite, I think it's called.
Yes, you mentioned it.
Yes. They did nothing. They threw everything out the door. So why go back and give them press release for this and that kind of stuff? Go out there and tell them, listen, we believe, tell the St. Kitts Nevis government publicly that we believe this and this will work for helping crime. You cannot go to Mr. Rollins with nothing. Mr. Rollins don't know he had from it or he put from India. You cannot listen. I had told somebody who called me this is night to me, morning for y'all, who called me last night and said, boy, you got listening to Mr. Rollins because he can be on Lavish show. So I actually wake up still to go still listen to the show and then heard that he's not on the show. I mean, I was laughing because I know there's no way he was going to come on the show. No way. He couldn't handle the press conference, which was babysitting for him. Only about 3 people in the audience. The permanent secretary was there, which is Glenroy Blanchett. I told he was there, and somebody 4 or 5 other persons. These people are not serious. I told you all so already. They're not serious about doing anything about crime.
Yes, you did, Rusty.
So you have to come and put your proposal forward. Sorry?
I said, yes, you really did indicate that they're not serious about crime.
Right. So why don't the People's Action Movement come forward? Don't let PLP come out in front of y'all. PLP really trying its best to be the third party. They already show y'all they could beat y'all because they take away your members. You're gonna see all your members. You're gonna see all your members at this press conference. Every last one front row. Timothy is not a fool. Timothy, now he can use them and use them and use them. And until he gets what he wants out of them. And it's not, if Pam does what he's supposed to do, there will be no PLP for the next election. I could assure you that. But I don't know what's wrong. One last thing. The same point I just make about ignorant and true ministers. Not in St. Kitts, throughout the whole Caribbean, because I just read a letter, an email sent to me about China trying to use the satellite to do some communications in the Caribbean. China been trying that from long time with Cuba and Grenada. They come back with they were allowed in by former Prime Minister Douglas. Look at how many Chinese on the island. Look at how many of them on the island. We don't do no testing on nothing. So we don't even know, for example, how many of them born on the island, how many of them there, how many come in. We don't do that. And so they're gonna do until they get us out of the country. There will be no Kittitian living in St. Kitts. Because that's the intention. And the people, our governments can't see. The only thing that the world recognizes from us is that we like money. Give them some money and they're gone. Remember the guy with the money and the when they give the guy the Jeep Cherokee, the guy who got the Jeep Cherokee, all them kind of stuff there, y'all got to keep in the back of y'all head. When you put people in power and they ain't got no sense, these are the things that happen. I can't say it no more as that. I really can't say it no more. It's bothering me. It's hurting me because I see what's happening. I look at the last one. I look at the tape and I see our Prime Minister going somewhere in Dubai or what have you.
Oh, we have another caller. Rusty, stay on the line. We have another caller. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead, caller. You're live on Island T. Caller. Yeah, Rusty, go ahead. Rusty?
Yeah. I'm here. Yeah, so I was saying, I saw the Prime Minister step out of the vehicle, gone walk straight into this meeting room with these, I don't know if it's Dubai or wherever it is. But I know the only thing, in my opinion, in my Rusty opinion, is he could have talked to them about by himself is medicine. Anything else he needed to have one or two other government people with him, like permanent secretary or whatever we call them. People who have knowledge on what they're talking about.
You have heard me,
but
yes.
no, he walked in and he get,
Yes, you've heard me say that. I felt like, AZ has always heard me say that. I feel like he needs to get a junior minister of finance, and he also needs, because each one of those portfolios that he holds on its own is a huge deal. So you're not wrong. I mean,
but people ain't gonna like it. People ain't like hear me talk Jamster. Let me make one last thing come off the phone. Last night when I listened to for Mr. Rollins, to Carly and Lavish,
Yeah, go ahead.
To Carly and Lavish show, I'm warning Island team. I'm gonna write on your Facebook page when I'm done. Somebody was trying to impersonate me on the page, and Lavi didn't pick it up quickly, and she started to cuss and blah blah. But then she make it up. We spoke after the show. It was amicably agreed upon that it wasn't me. She said it. Somebody told her it wasn't me and that kind of stuff. So when I'm writing on your page, please read carefully. I don't write stupidness for people putting my name to. I saw it when it was coming through. They use my name, but without a picture. But they could find any picture anywhere and put it up. I got lots of pictures on the internet. They could find anyone. Be very careful. You all be very careful. This is a nasty time coming. Nasty people do nasty things. I like to talk politics. I don't want to come here talking other stuff. Maybe I want to talk sports. I wish you guys that the sports thing. I wish them all the best. But my prerogative right now in my life is talking politics. I ain't want to get into other stuff. I ain't care about the music festival now. But just be very careful when y'all see posts coming from me. Before y'all read them out with my name and blah blah and stop me, just be very careful. All right?
So you're not coming for the St. Kitts Music Festival?
Okay. I come home for election. You know what money I spent to go home for election? You only go for a music festival, you gotta be a joke. The only how to get me home for St. Kitts Music Festival If they bring Diana Ross, I'm in St. Kitts. I can assure you that.
Hold on, we
All
got.
right, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks a
Okay.
lot.
So, caller, you're live on Island T. Caller.
Okay, so still having problems.
Yeah,
with that.
we're having problems with the phone lines due to the power outage that we
Okay.
had earlier.
Okay, let's take a break then.
So we're going to take a short break. It's 8:30 now. No, 9:30 now. So we're going to take a short break.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Fruta full of vitamin thing. Real fruit juice, no full of vitamin. Pop open the goodness, just dive in. Fruta every night, fruta every morning.
It's the amazing taste and quality in fruit juice you've come to know and love. Anytime, anywhere, any occasion. Fruta is your tastier, better, healthier choice.
We got the vibes, fruta. Real nice, fruta.
And for the families, remember to pick up the 1 liter.
So we are back. It's 9:32. We just heard from Rams, the sponsor of this day part. Let's try this call again. Caller, go right ahead.
Caller.
Wow, still having. Okay, it usually takes a while to come back. So after,
And
we always have these problems after.
After electricity goes,
yeah.
we had a little outage in the morning, so we had to restart everything. So it's knocked out the calls because I realized we didn't really have, well, other than Rusty, we didn't have any calls coming in because
Yeah. So yeah.
So
well,
I was talking about the gun amnesty period in Grenada, where persons are now getting the opportunity from May 1st to the July 30th. The opportunity to bring in illegal guns, firearms, I guess this is a part of their plan in terms of, ensuring, that there are fewer illegal firearms out there in their country.
Hello, caller.
We have a caller?
I'm trying again, yeah. Hello, call. At least the calls are coming in, just
so we can't hear them.
Yeah, just hoping that eventually the lines kick in. Caller, you can't hear us? Okay, guess not. Okay, so we just have to wait until that comes back up.
Yeah, definitely.
So you were saying?
Yeah, so in Grenada they're doing that. The gun amnesty will take effect from May 1st to July 30th, bringing in firearms illegally owned to the police stations as collection points. Stuff like that. I'm here seeing an article by Look Caribbean that says Belize mourns the passing of esteemed physician Dr. Fernando. Wow. So beloved Belizean physician Dr. Fernando has died. And here it's saying that Dr. Fernando He was an internal medicine specialist. He passed away in the United States of America on Saturday night while receiving treatment for blood cancer. Wow. He says here the Belize Medical Associates said that Fernando had only recently discovered his cancer diagnosis after seeking medical attention from a back fracture. Says here that he passed away surrounded by his children and siblings. Wow. Wow. It says Fernando's legacy as a compassionate healer and a pillar of our medical community will be endearingly remembered. His unwavering dedication to his patients and his remarkable contribution to the Belize Medical Association have left an indelible mark that will not be forgotten. End of quote. Wow. You heard that, Janta? The loss of a physician from Belize due to blood cancer.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's blood cancer. We hear a number of cancer. How popular, how rare is blood cancer? Wow. And if you look at it here, it says, just doing a little search. Leukemia, blood cancer. Wow. Says that blood cancer is curable. Says many types of blood cancers are now highly treatable based on this source. Says 7 warning signs of blood cancer. You have coughing or chest pain. Possible cause is a buildup of abnormal blood cells in your spleen. Says here frequent infections, fever, chills, unexplained rash, bruising or bleeding, itchy skin, loss of appetite, nausea, night sweats, persistent weakness and fatigue.
Yeah, well, I'm just here trying to compose the text, but there's a couple stories in our chat there that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
You can go up and take a look at some of them and let you choose the first one. I just have to finish your text there. I'm trying to get this phone thing sorted out. It's 9:37. We got lots of time.
Yes.
So just reminding folks tonight on the ball, Troy Biff Mills sports program, we'll have a West Indies selector, and they'll probably be taking your calls as well. They're going to be discussing the very high likelihood of not one but 2 Kitishans, brothers no less, making the West Indies team.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that there are a lot of people excited about the Louis brothers possibly making the West Indies team after a Kitishan has never done that before.
You know, after it has never been done before for 2 at the same time.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. Let me try the phone again. God, I just hope this is it this time. Caller, go right ahead. Hello. Okay, phone isn't cooperating yet.
This is an article.
Let me shut it down again.
This is an article, and it's from SKNIS, and it's in relation to, the passing of Mr. Adrian Lamb. And it says, Mr. Adrian Lamb, a household name in St. Kitts and Nevis, who studied piano and also plays the bass guitar. Adrian is prominent in music in St. Kitts and Nevis, a musician extraordinaire, and established band leader and music producer, holds a Bachelor of Commerce degrees from the St. Mary's University, Canada. Oh, you see, I was reading this and I was wondering. I know he passed. I saw this article, but when I was reading it, it read as if it was as if he was still here. And so I went and looked and see when the article was published. It says February 8th, 2019. So this is an old article that I guess persons shared. Oh, yes. Oh, it was shared in the chat. That's why I went for it. Yeah, I guess it would give us a history, okay, of Adrian, but it was written at the time that he was alive. Yeah, because that's when I was reading it. It still was using the present tense. Yeah. Wow,
I just have some.
What you say?
No, a friend of mine. He said he has tickets available for the Pork and Beer Fest. I think. So yeah. Okay. Well, just I'm certainly going to be calling you. So certainly going to be calling you, Ron, to get my tickets.
So I guess we could. I'm going to just restructure this so he says so Adrian he studied piano and he was a bass guitarist. He was a band leader and a music producer. He held a Bachelor of Commerce degree from the St. Mary's University, Canada. He goes on to say that he was one of the forefront of music, whether it was as a member of the Renaissance band, owner, manager of Tucan Sound Production. Yeah. He was a chairperson of the talent committee of the music festival. It says here also, Adrian was a legend in the field of music, musical production, copyright, and every element of sound. Mr. Lamb was a director of WINNFM and a deputy chairman of the cable. In 1985, he started the first recording studio in the Federation. He was also a founding member of the St. Kitts Music Festival Committee. Yeah, so those are some information about Adrian. Again, condolences to his family, his loved ones, everyone on his passing. Wow. As we still try to get the phone lines up, and it seems like it will be an impossible task this morning before the conclusion of the program, I just want to wish everyone persons who have been listening, I want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for staying part of the program. You know, we do miss the calls due to the fact of the power shortage and not being able to receive calls at this point in time, because the calls really gets and continues the program, you know. Other than that, it becomes a monologue. So we really appreciate the calls, you know, and we at this point in time, due to whatever reason, the system isn't working because there was a power shortage earlier during the show. And of all days, we don't get the calls and my voice is not the best. And you just have to pull through and do what you have to do. So this is an article, and it says Belize PM meets with Pope Francis at the Vatican. And it says the Belize Prime Minister had an audience with Pope Francis during his visit to the Holy See on Saturday. And he says here the Prime Minister of Belize and his delegation were welcomed to the Holy See by Pope Francis in the Vatican. And it says following the meeting with Pope Francis, the Prime Minister met with the Archbishop Paul, the Secretary for Relations with States and International Organizations. And he said that the Vatican said that the PM held cordial discussions with the Roman Catholic Church officials, and satisfaction was expressed for the good relations between Belize and the Holy See. So he goes on to say that Belize and the Vatican agreed to continue their long-standing cooperation in areas such as education and care for migrants.
Okay, so 9:44. One of the stories I wanted to bring to attention was the fact. Now you may have heard about the vote in the U.S. the drive to get TikTok sold to an American, well, a non-Chinese company, most likely American. And some reasons were put forward as to why the Americans are so up in arms about it. Apparently,
And I said, and I made a error. I meant to say the bass guitar. He was a bass guitar player, Adrian. My apologies.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what happens is apparently other countries have been reporting to the Americans that lawmakers in countries like in Europe, Canada, and elsewhere have reported incidents of evidence of the Chinese tampering with information from.
That's an article I think you sent.
New York Times, yes, from the New York Times. And the funny thing is, I actually gamed out this in my head even before this happened, because I said, when I realized TikTok, I remember when TikTok came on the scene and I realized it was Chinese. I said, these people are insane.
Yes.
Because this is what I figured would happen, and it turns out I was right. It's popular because the algorithm apparently is really very good. It's very sticky. So I figured what would happen is you would have maybe the family of very important officials. Think of somebody who maybe works at the CIA, works in the U.S. government in sensitive areas, or not so sensitive areas, but think of these people's kids, family members having TikTok. That is a way to spy on. That is a way to get into these people's networks, get into their email, and then even some of these actual people who work in these sensitive positions have TikTok accounts, and this is a perfect Trojan horse way to get into to spy and listen and steal information and so on, and basically infiltrate America. And I thought of this like 4 or 5 years ago. I don't understand how these people are now just thinking that this is now recognizing that this is a problem.
Is that real? Is that Lavi? Lavi, you have a time? We could have a little chit chat. Lavi, we're calling you.
Yes. She smells gingery. She smells nice.
Yes.
Yeah, so Lavi's just going to join us for a set.
We have a few minutes. Yes.
So, come on, put on the headphones.
She know how this works.
Come on, stop acting like you do.
She knows how this works.
Stop acting like you don't know how this works, yo. Come on.
She had her show last night.
And come in here.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. We're trying to get her headphones sorted out. And
she has a
and Lavi, you come up in here looking all good and smelling like ginger. Yeah.
How you doing?
With your fine self.
Well, thank you. I'm doing so wonderful. My phone is ringing. My precious daughter.
Yes.
So permit me quick.
Good
morning. Hi, I'm my daughter. I love you so much. Say no more. I'm on the air. We'll talk soon. Don't even say anything. You're on the air. I love you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Hello? Bye. I can't put on this spot. I give my children information out.
Yes.
Yes, when it comes to kids especially, let me say children.
Yes.
When they become adults, there's a line between their privacy. You understand?
Yes.
And we have I'm not strained, but you know the type of person that I am.
Yes.
We have a way of casually meeting parents or family and asking them about other people.
Yes.
And sometimes we, being genuine, we will want to answer them, but we got to be very careful giving out information to a third party.
Yes.
There's a lot of people just don't mean well. They have other things in mind to help destroy you and your family and your love between your children.
Yeah.
And I look at even myself. I would have never thought that I would have been doing something like this. But to be honest, this is exactly the reason as we get older, we should not be just being comfortable to one just profession.
Yes.
There's a lot of things called talent and you have other things to do. You learn as you go along in life, and I recognize Azard. Like you, for instance, we live in a political world.
Yeah.
And we got to be very careful of a line between being in politics, religion, family, social life, other things, your friendship, just being able to have boundaries with everything.
Yes.
You and I get along.
Yes.
But I would not call you to ask you your private business. And if I have anything to contribute, I don't care what walks of political platform you're on. I have a mint in my mouth, a ginger mint.
Oh, so that's the ginger that he smelled. That he smelled.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So
I would never come here. When I look at you, I see Azard. I don't see nothing else. And that's the problem with a lot of people. When we don't have any ideas, we cannot really basically like have an imagination to create your own conversations. I don't know if that makes sense.
I mean, yes, because as you say, you talk about the politics and you talk about relationships, you talk about friendships too. It is sometimes very difficult to manage, It's very complex. It's not something that's very easy to do. And how you maintain friendships, how you maintain relationships while still being very active in the political platform. Yes, it's not easy. Yes.
Well, for me, I would say it's easy. If you're authentic, and you come from that traditional background, if you believe in mentorship and sharing and just want to be helpful to others and not just yourself, being who you are, it's easy. Yeah. So in terms of being able to have a relationship, you're either going to be in a relationship or you're going to be out. Many people even going to marriage and they have one foot in and one foot out. We have become so modern now where people are having the different private accounts and all different kind of things. Back in the days, and if you speak to person that are very influential and successful relationships, a lot of them, husband and wife, will say that they throw everything in. So basically, you're supposed to know your husband's wealth, when he have, when he don't have. You understand? But the way how the world is putting people, the dividing people, so you do not really want to invest in the person that is in your space.
Very interesting. And of course, you had your program yesterday. I was looking forward to the discussion, because it was highlighted. We highlighted it here on Island T. Jamso made the plug. He said, guys, we're talking about crime and national security, and the national security advisor is going to be on Real Talk Lavi. And so, persons came in to view that interview with you and the national security advisor.
I know it was really going to be a big deal. And I think a lot of persons probably come in with intention for other things as well. But there are persons that just come in because they really want to know what is happening among, the crime and the different things. People just want to know that we can have a safe place here in St. Kitts. I think it's actually developing,
Yes.
However, I was really looking forward to have him, but unfortunately, he could not be at present. You know how St. Kitts is, 9 days talk, things have to cool down. So maybe it was a good, because I think that when people see that somebody like that going to be on my show, many people probably think that it's going to, they're waiting for just bad news. And some of them basically want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he should have make an effort to make that show and use my platform because it's non-political and to clarify and have a conversation. And knowing me, I basically was not going to be here to debate on anybody, cross-examine anybody. I just basically was going to, give him that opportunity, feel more comfortable with Lavi. And
Real talk.
With real talk.
Yes.
And then hopefully I will have been able to ask other questions that the state really need to hear about.
Yes.
Running. This is just my terminology.
Yes.
Running away from the subject and what is at hand. It's going to come back to bite you. And I feel that because it is a hot spot, and because it's a hot spot and a hot topic, this was the perfect time to deal with it. Now it's hot. When you wait until things die down people not going to have that trust and confidence in you.
Mm-hmm.
Because, if you can't come in here when it's hot, you know what I mean? It's like you can only work. And I'm speaking in general with anything, Azard.
Yes.
If you can only be your best when things are good, then what's going to happen when things get green?
Mm-hmm.
You can't look like Lavia, almost 60 years old, and look at me. People still looking at me. Maybe that's why they're cussing me out like that. Because maybe I'm not aging the way how they want me to.
Yes.
I have evolved as I get older. And that is why you can feel the love, the passion.
Yes.
I have joy. This is how I was raised, and I remain the person that I am. A lot of people are superficial, trying to give impression. As this, we did not born in money. We did not born with generation wealth. No one should feel ashamed because you don't have money today. You might not have tomorrow. You're gonna have. But anyway, I have my students waiting for me at HMP.
Oh.
And today we are going to be doing, I'm going to be giving them 3-in-1 we're going to be doing. So if they're listening or somebody want to share it, we're going to be doing shampooing. And we're going to actually be doing shampooing and color. So I'm going to give them like a whole
That's the females?
service. The females. And I can't wait, hopefully, when we allow them to be public to express themselves, gender affairs or whoever is responsible for that. Because it's kind of hard when you're putting so much effort to go in India and teach these people that we cannot really get that feedback from the person that actually was able to be a part of that class.
Yes. And what you're doing is very impactful, and it's very nice, to engage and be a part of the rehabilitation.
Absolutely.
Because rehabilitation is important. And the platform that you gave, I know a lot of persons were looking forward to that discussion.
Yes.
Of course, there were persons who were looking on, and different views. Persons who were looking on to see whether or not he could have countered some of the negative press based on the last press conference. There were others who were looking too to see whether or not it would have been additional. So persons were coming there to listen, and there are persons on either side who will come to listen to hear what he had to say.
And persons, not just in St. Kitts, but throughout the Caribbean,
yes,
throughout the world, people are listening, but I would not come here without giving an advice to anyone.
Yes.
I've had this advice given to me from other mentors. And when we get positions, sometimes it's not that you can't do the work. It's not everybody a great talker in terms of being able to do that communication skills. So I advise anyone out there that is in these kind of big positions when they know that they have to be facing the public, you're going to have to really do some work and, work on yourself, work on your speech, and get someone. If you have to come scripted, come scripted. It's better to be scripted than just going and coming saying something that can get you in trouble. Because I know the security advisor, Dr. Lionel, was Woosie Rollins. And I read upon him. He's on YouTube.
Okay.
And there's a lot of persons that really knows him, know his capability in terms of what he can do. Unfortunately, like I said, sometimes people put the foot in the mouth, and this is a great chance to basically cannot afford for this to happen anymore with anybody. It doesn't matter who the person is. And with this, I just got to tell you thank you for having me here.
Yeah, and
I'm out of here.
I definitely agree. He squandered a chance to maybe clean up, do clean up on aisle 9, type thing. I'm sure he means well, and I'm sure he's. I'm sure he means well, and I really think that before we go, we have 1 minute. I really think that we need a situation. We have a situation where government functionaries have to stop being cowards, and stop. I'm gonna say it. They have to stop being cowards, and they need to exercise a certain amount of reasonable autonomy when it comes to the execution of their duties. Stop. Okay, I'm sure maybe he was busy, but I'm talking in general now. I mean, I think a lot of times they squander a lot of opportunity for good PR.
Yeah, it could have been.
And making their case to the public and so on. You know?
I mean, persons were looking to see what he's going to say, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, but we still wish him well, and we hope he'll come on and you know, make his case. Because I'm not gonna be on the bashing train. I try to be reasonable, and you know, but I think a lot of government. This is why I really love that Cromwell Williams came on to talk about the water and did his thing.
That
And
was
I wish
good.
I wish more of these types of people, when we call them, they'll just show up and stop acting like they're school children in a primary school and they have to get permission from the headmaster. I mean, it's ridiculous.
And the thing about it, all of these persons, as you say, they are professionals in their field. They're the ones
Exactly.
they could they could give, you know, but everybody, I guess, you're told, no, you can't go, don't do this, don't say this, because at the end of the day, it's all about perception, and everyone.
It seems to me like a lot of times they feel like they're intimidated by the minister or whoever, and they have to get permission. That's how it seems. If that's not the case, let us know. But it certainly seems that way.
At the end of the day, the minister is wants a good PR, wants to look good, and for the electorate.
Yeah. Okay, we gotta leave it there. It's that's gonna do it for Island Tea today. We're gonna be back tomorrow. Hump day already? Wow. Okay.
Yes, wonderful Wednesday tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes.
See ya.